Well, good morning. Let's get some more light. Let's see. That's not quite right. That'll work. Kinda, I guess. That'll work. All right. Well, we're going to spend a little bit of time translating 2 John. We just finished in the Greek lecture series last week. All 27 weeks. We made it through 1 John 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Translated all of 1 John. Today, I was thinking, let's go ahead and translate 2 John. Next week, we can translate 3 John. And then we'll have the whole Johannine general epistles done, which would be pretty exciting. So in 5, 6, 7 weeks, we'll have translated 3 entire books of the New Testament. How cool is that? And then, so that's today, but I will only spend an hour. So I got to spend some time writing the Hebrew lectures. I don't have time during the week to do it. So I got to devote some of this time to make that happen, get ready for January. So if I run out of time, then we'll have to pick it up next week. So that's what's on the table for today. Let's dive in. All right. Here we go. 2 John 1. O presbyteros eklekti kyriake tis technis avtis us ego agapo en alithia. He uk ego monos ala ke pantes I egnoketes tin alithian. Diatin alithian tin menusan en imin. Ke met imon este iston eona. All right, so the elder, you've heard of Presbyterian? Presbyteros, the elder. We've been using BDAG. Did I get TDNT? I think I did. Let's see, look up in dictionary. I could have swore I got TDNT. Let's see. Maybe I didn't. Nope, I did. Okay. There's got to be a way to get it to go into TDNT. Where are preferences? Not in here. Edit, search. Not familiar with the PC version of this application, so where is the preferences? Interesting. How do you add it? I want it to go. When I triple click, it's going to take me to BDAG every time. I remember that's how I set it up. So I've got BDAG, Liddell Scott, and TDNT right here. So how... That's not going to help. Daily reading, analytics, info pane. There's got to be a way. Oh. Okay. Here you see the cognate family, presbyteros, meaning an occurrence, elders in the constitutional history of Israel and Judah. Greater age, especially of men. Older. So it's a political title for the president of a college. Interesting. That's in the Constitution of Sparta. The peculiar problem of the use of presbyteros in Judaism and Christianity arises out of the twofold meaning of the word, which can be employed both as a designation of age and also of a title of office. The two meanings cannot always be distinguished with clarity. Though age is plainly the only sense in Genesis 18, that would be in the Septuagint. The word can still be used for this in Christian writings. John 8:9, Acts 2:17, 1 Timothy 5:1, 1 Timothy 5:2, 1 Peter 5:5. Second John is not listed there at all. Primitive Christian communities. There we go. Pastorals. Revelation. What about 2 John? There we go. The open conflict between the holder of a congregational office viewed in terms of monarchical episcopacy and the representative of a free authority not restricted to any locality is reflected in 3 John. With no further definition and no mention of any name, the author of 2nd and 3rd John in the introduction calls himself O Presbyteros. In so doing, he appeals to an authority which had hitherto been recognized not merely by the congregation addressed, but which was now contested by his opponent, Diotrephes. The elder with his wishes and works is outside any ecclesiastical constitution. He is to be regarded not as an office bearer, but as a specially valued teacher or as a prophet of the older period. And his title is to be understood in the sense in which Papias and some later fathers use it for pupils of the apostles and guarantors of the tradition which goes back to them. So we'll translate it the elder. Just how are we to understand the words "O presbyteros" applied to himself by the author of the two smallest Johannine letters remains in doubt, but in any case it is meant to indicate a position of great dignity, the elder. Well, I think this comes to show why BDAG is better than TDNT. Direct to the point, tells you exactly what you need, no extra fluff. Just saying. All right, so verse 1. There's no chapter in 2 John because it's only one chapter. So it's 2 John 1, 2 John 2, 2 John 3, 2 John 4, 2 John 5. Oh, sorry. All right, so the elder. Eclecti. This is to be called out. That's not what I wanted. Thank you. I wanted to search this. Okay, so it's an adjective, eclectos. So this is like eclectic, pertaining to being selected or chosen, Christian assembly or congregation. Okay. So the elder to the chosen Kyria. That's like Lord. Kyria, feminine form of the substantive adjective Kyrios. Rare and late is a proper name. Lady or mistress, housekeeper. Probably the one in charge of the household work assignments. To the chosen lady. I'm going to say lady because normally Kyrios is Lord. And I like the symmetry with L. Lord, lady. I like that. And to her children. To the chosen lady and to her children. Whom I love. I love. This is masculine plural accusative. So it refers to this one and this one because it's a group of mixed. My love in truth. And I not only and not I only this is going back to love. Okay, so, and not I only, but also all who know the truth. So it's not only the presbyteros who loves the children and the lady, but it's everyone who loves the truth or knows the truth loves the children and the lady. Perfect active participle who, but all who has known the truth. Comma, verse 2. Babe, I already fed the dogs. Yeah. Okay. With genitive. With accusative. Because of the truth that remains. Oh, this is this is this in the attributive position? I can't remember grammar. I gotta look this up. So those the good word. I thought there was more than one attributive. If there's a noun to modify, then the adjective is attributive when the article is present. There's a noun to modify, article is present. Adjective can come before or after the noun. There's no significant difference in meaning. However, the adjective must be preceded by the article. Both examples mean the good man. First attributive position, the good man. The man, the good. This is second attributive position. So because of the remaining truth in us. But this is a participle. Okay, so let's look that up here. Let's see. Why am I not seeing participles? There it is. Okay, the participle may function just like an adjective and either modify a substantive, attributive, which is I think what we have here, or assert something about it, predicate. The attributive participle is common, the predicate participle is rare. You should normally translate the attributive participle as though it were a relative clause. And that, my friends, is why we look things up. Because we can't translate it. The remaining truth, we translate it as the truth that remains. Okay. Because the truth that... Now, this is present active participle. It bears a continuous aspect. It's not present, it's continuous active participle. So the truth that continues remaining in us. Is the truth that continuously remains in us. And with us will be, this is future, in the age, this is translated forever. To eternity, East tone, Aeona, to eternity, yeah. And it will be with us for eternity. Oh, interesting. So see how verse 3 ends up combining este met imon, and you got met imon este here. So it's almost like a chiastic structure. So it's signaling charis, elios, irini, paratheu, patros ke para Jesu Christu tu viu tu patros en alithea ke agapi. These are the things that will be with us forever. So verse 3, the NRSV, I think they do a good job with the colon there, but I'm not going to use the colon just to retain the flavor of the Greek here. And will be with us for eternity. So grace I'm going to translate this rather literally. It will be with us, comma, grace, mercy, peace from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, in truth and in love, period. The elder to the chosen lady and to her children, whom I love in truth, and not I only, but also all who has known the truth. All have, that should be have, not has. All who have known the truth. Because the truth that continuously remains in us and will be with us for eternity. It will be with us, grace, mercy, peace from God the Father, and from Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, in truth and in love. Echarin lianoti evrika ekton teknon su peripatuntas en alithia kathos entolin elabomen para tu patros. Verse 4. I have no idea what this is. This isn't echo. This is, Chairo. Chero, not Chairo. I'm not Erasmian. Okay, so to rejoice. Rejoice, be glad. To be in a state of happiness and well-being. Rejoice, be glad. 2 John 4 right here. So the reason or object is given by OT. So why rejoice? Why be glad? Okay, this is first singular, aorist passive indicative. Aorist. So it's past tense, it's passive, but it's indicative. Okay. I was glad Leon, exceedingly glad that I have found. This is Eureka, by the way, like the town in California. Eureka. I found. So I have found from your children, prepatuntas, walking, present active participle, masculine plural accusative, continuously walking in truth. So this use of the genitive here is, I think, is this partitive, I think is what it is. Let's see. So it's denoting some of a group. No, it doesn't quite seem... Yeah. For example, some of the Pharisees, one of you, some of the Pharisees. One will also frequently see ek plus the genitive. Boom. That's exactly what we have. So it is partitive. I was right. So I have found some of your children. I've found some of your children continuously walking in truth, just as a commandment we received from the Father. Interesting. Then RSV says, just as we have been commanded by the Father, but this is plural aorist active indicative, and this is just the word for commandment. Let's see what BDAG has to say on this. Of divine commandments as they concern people. That doesn't help. Lambano, to receive. Oh my word, so many uses for lambano. Oh, there it is right there. Used as a periphrasis for the passive. Oh, the NRSV here has it right. Okay. So just as we... Okay, so then if it's periphrastic passive, let's see, be circumcised. Okay, so it takes the noun. I'm not sure if peritomine is a noun or not. But here it definitely is. Be marked. Okay, so be commanded. Been commanded. Walking in truth. Just as we were commanded from the Father. Just as we were commanded from the Father. From here or by? Of taking, accepting, receiving, lambaning. That's exactly what we have here. Marker of the point from which an action originates from. Okay, so from is fine. Verse 5. Kenin erotos se kyria uk os entolin kenin graphon si alla in ichomen ap archis ina agapomen alilus. Verse 5. Get another sip of my lovely heavenly nectar here. It's good. It's good. Okay, and now eroto se. First singular present active indicative of erotao. And now I ask you. And now I ask you. Kyria, lady. not as a new commandment, not as writing a new commandment to you, but which we were having from the beginning. Interesting use of the imperfect there. Look at that in a moment. Okay, so why is it ook here? This is not indicative. Objective, negative. Opposite to the subjective me. Denying the reality of an alleged fact in the New Testament used with the indicative, me serves as the negative for the other moods, including infinitive and participle, with certain exceptions which will be discussed below. Okay. Not a question. Not a combination. So why is it ook instead of me? This is not indicative, but this is indicative. But now, dear lady, I ask you not as though I were writing you a new commandment, but one we have had from the beginning. This isn't exactly a relative clause. And now I ask you, lady, uk os entolin kenin graphon si. So is this functioning as a relative even though it's comparative? A lot of ink spilt on this word. Holy crap. Okay, so it may not be so simple here. A comparative particle marking the manner in which something proceeds. That is not what we're dealing with here. It is not marking the manner in which something proceeds. A conjunction marking a point of comparison. This as can have a so expressly corresponding to it or not, as the case may be. Further, both sides of the comparison can be expressed in complete clauses, or one or even both may be abbreviated. The clause beginning with os can easily be understood and supplied in many cases. When this occurs, the noun upon which the comparison depends can often stand alone, and in these cases, os acts as a particle denoting comparison. Okay. Os introduces short clauses. That could be what we're dealing with here. Marker introducing the perspective from which a person, thing, or activity is viewed or understood as to character, function, or role. That's not what we're dealing with. Os with participle gives the reason for an action as one who, because. That's interesting. But it's still, it's not about character or role. Conjunction marker of result in connection with indication of purpose. It's not combined with the infinitive, so I doubt that's the case. It's not discourse. There's no numerals. Not a high point. It's not oson or oseon. It's not subjunctive, it's not infinitive, it's not used with prepositions to indicate the direction intended. It's gotta just be a simple short clause. But that still doesn't answer why. Negative response to a question or statement. It's not a question. Used to negative single words or clauses. Frequently in litotes. What is a litote? Never heard of that before. Hey Siri, what is a litote? It doesn't understand. Let's see. Ironic understatement in which an affirmative is expressed by the negative of its contrary. You won't be sorry, meaning you'll be glad. Interesting. Learn something new. In a contrast, used sometimes with the participle from above are derived the points under which this is done, contrary to the rule given at beginning of entry. In addition, it is probably that in individual cases, earlier literary influence is still at work. So to negative a single concept, things not seen, okay, so don't worry about it, because it's saying it can happen. We don't know exactly why, probably because the language was changing and still in flux, blah, blah, blah. I can get behind that. That's fine. So not as okay, so not and now I ask you, lady, not like I don't like. Not as though literally it's not as writing a new commandment to you, but I'm going to add not as though I am writing a new commandment to you, but in to that which, that what, isn't neuter, this is feminine. I want to say NRSV is right. This should be translated one. But let's take our time on it and figure it out. It agrees in gender and number with the noun or pronoun to which it refers, which makes sense because we're talking about commandment, which is feminine singular. That makes sense. Yeah. So, but one which we were having from the beginning. comma. So let's look at that. The imperfect tense is rarely used, just like an aorist indicative, to indicate simple past. This usage is virtually restricted to elegen in narrative literature. Even with this verb, however, the imperfect usually bears a different nuance. Okay, so that's not what we're dealing with here. Descriptive imperfect. The imperfect is often used to describe an action or state that is in progress in past time from the viewpoint or more accurately portrayal of the speaker. The action or state is broader than that of the instantaneous imperfect, but more narrowly focused than that of the customary imperfect. It speaks either of vividness or simultaneity with another action. Continually doing was right then happening. Inceptive imperfect. The imperfect is often used to stress the beginning of an action with the implication that it continued for some time. The difference between the ingressive imperfect and the ingressive aorist is that the imperfect stresses beginning, but implies that the action continues, while the aorist stresses beginning, but does not imply that the action continues. Thus, the translation for the inceptive imperfect ought to be began doing, while the inceptive aorist ought to be translated began to do. Key to identification, began doing. No, that doesn't quite work here. It's not really iterative or customary. The pluperfective imperfect. This could be it. The imperfect is infrequently used to indicate a time prior to the action occurring in the narrative. It thus indicates time antecedent to that of the main verb, which also indicates past time. The difference between this and a pluperfect is that the imperfect's internal portrayal is still intact. He had said to him. He had been telling. He had been bound. That could be the case here. So, when it's used in indirect discourse, the imperfect can retain a past. Where did it go? Past perfect. So we have had from the beginning. I think that's a good way to do it. Ina agapomen allilus, in order that we might continuously love one another. Period. Whew, that was a long time. Verse 6. I guess we'll stop there. Now, ke avti estin I agapi, ina peripatomen, katatas entolas avtu. Avti I entoli estin, kathos I kusate ap archis, ina en avti peripatiti. Patite. And this is love. In order that this might just be that. That we might walk. I'll still translate it. In order that we might walk according to his commandments. Semicolon. This is the commandment. Just as you heard, ikusate, you heard from the beginning, in order that you might continuously walk. You might continuously walk in it. So I keep translating it in order that, but it might not actually be that. So I think the NRSV is onto something here. This is the commandment, just as you have heard it from the beginning, you must walk in it. Ina can also take the place of the explanatory infinitive after a demonstrative. That. Because it's occurring right after off T. And it does it up here too, see? So I don't think it's in order that. That we might walk. So now the question is, what are the subjunctives? Interesting, they don't list the subjunctive here, not even for hortatory. It's not a prohibition. Okay. Why don't I see? Oh, it's a mood. Okay, so Second John 6. An apposition clause. Namely that. Johannine literature. Namely that you might continuously walk. Can the subjunctive Wonder why the NRSV uses "you must walk in it." There's no indication that second person plural, subjunctive, would be by a prepositional expression. The sphere in which one lives or ought to live so as to be characterized by that sphere is designated by N. That doesn't help at all. And this is love, namely that we walk according to his commandments. Here they use that we walk. First person plural, present active subjunctive. Down here, you must walk in it. Second person plural, present active subjunctive. I don't understand their use here. What am I missing? Hortatory, deliberative, emphatic negation, and prohibition. Subjunctive is commonly used to exhort or command oneself and one's associates. This use urge to someone to unite with the speaker. Yeah. First person plural. Purpose, result, purpose, result, substantival. Apposition. Imperatival ina. The subjunctive is rarely used after ina with the force of a command. Although structurally this looks to be a subordinate use of the subjunctive, it occurs in clauses where the subjunctive is the main verb. That's not the case here. Main verb is estin. And this is the commandment that you walk in it, that you might walk in it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it that you might continuously walk in it. I don't think the NRSV has this right. I'm making it too strong. All right, we will pick up at verse 7 next time. I've got to go start working on the Hebrew stuff. So yeah. Let's read what we got so far. So this is 2 John, verse 1. The elder to the chosen lady and to her children, whom I love in truth, and not only I, but also all who have known the truth, because the truth that continuously remains in us and will be with us for eternity. It will be with us. Grace, mercy, peace from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, in truth and in love. I was exceedingly glad that I have found some of your children continuously walking in truth, just as we were commanded from the Father. And now I ask you, lady, not as though I am writing a new commandment to you, but one which we have heard from the beginning, in order that we might continuously love one another. And this is love, namely that we might walk according to his commandments. This is the commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning, namely that you might continuously walk in it. We'll pick up in verse 7 next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. Pacific, Saturday morning. We'll spend another hour translating. I think we could probably finish the rest of this in an hour. Yeah, I think we can do that. And then I'll have to cut it off at an hour so I can work on the Hebrew stuff. But yeah, so pencil into your calendars. Make sure you come back in January 2020 for the Hebrew lectures. But between now and then, we'll be meeting every Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific, utilizing the Greek that we've learned. And also, every day, come back 7 o'clock Pacific at night. So 7 p.m. Pacific. For the Greek word of the day. We'll have one today. We'll have one tomorrow. We'll have one on Monday. We'll have one on Tuesday. It's every day. We are coming up on the 200 word mark. And we're shooting for around 300, 350 words. So we're coming up on the final third, which is pretty exciting. So with that, as I take another sip of this heavenly nectar, I bid you adieu. See you later. See you next week. Oh, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. All right, bye-bye.